Everyone treats summer like it owes you happiness. Long days, pool parties, your best life on a loop. So what does it mean when you feel worse? The summer blues are real. It's why summer is one of the busiest stretches of the year for people starting therapy. Therapy is not only for when you're in crisis. Grow therapy is for all the moments when you decide you want more. More support, more clarity, more tools. Mental health isn't a destination you reach. It's something you build, and Grow makes that easier. Grow connects you with thousands of high-quality licensed therapists across the U.S., offering both virtual and in-person sessions, nights and weekends. You can search by what matters, like insurance, specialty, identity, or availability, and get started in as little as 2 days. There are no subscriptions, no long-term commitments. You just pay per session. Grow helps you find therapy on your time. The therapist you want takes your insurance on Grow. Grow accepts over 125 insurance plans. Sessions average $21 with insurance, and some pay as little as $0 depending on their plan. Visit growtherapy.com/book now today to get started. That's growtherapy.com/book now. growtherapy.com/book now. Availability and coverage vary by state and insurance plan.
This summer, turn your gifting game up during the Summer Plant and Garden Sale at 1-800-Flowers.com. Right now, you can score up to 30% off succulents, bonsais, fresh-cut blooms, and more. Whether you're celebrating a birthday, sending a thank you, or a just because surprise, 1-800-Flowers lets you save big on a stunning selection of gifts. Save up to 30% off during the Summer Plant and Garden Sale at 1-800-Flowers.com/podcast. That's 1-800-Flowers.com/podcast. Gift something unforgettable today.
Think about it. Rugby league isn't really about tries and goals, is it? Not really. It's not about trophies. It's not even about winning. No, rugby league is about people. It's about experiences, friendship, adventures, memories. And it's true you cannot buy those things, but you can organize them. And that's what we've been doing here at Catalan Sport Tours since 2014. Whether it's a World Cup, Away to the Dragons, Las Vegas, Cup Finals, State of Origins, Paris or Dublin, we'll organize everything so you can focus on making memories. Because that's what rugby league's all about. Find us at catalansporttours.com.
Welcome to Stade, Gilbert, Brutus. This is Hooters, our post-match show, and it was a 32-12 win to the Wakefield Trinity team over brave Catalans, and it was 10-6 at half-time to Wakey, and they continue to put pressure on Leeds and Wigan above them. Now, running through the details, for Wakey tries to Cameron Scott, Isaiah Vangana, Jake Truman, Caleb Ueli, and also Jack Sinfield kicking 4 goals. And for Catalans, it was Matthew Laguerre, Toby Sexton tries, Guillermo Espero-Biche 2 goals. And that's it. When we're going to have the presses, or a bit of audio from the presses at the end of the show. But firstly, let us go to the first NRL game today, and that was back at Cbus Super Stadium, and it was a 42-6 win to the Warriors over Gold Coast. And the first person you're going to hear now is Gold Coast coach Josh Hannay.
You don't expect it, but a couple of points. Credit to the opposition. Like, they're one of the premiership favourites at their best. They can, not telling them something they don't know, they can win it. So they were very good today. Got to give credit where it's due there. And on us, I just thought there was a lot of effort all day, but I thought they're a very experienced team, the Warriors, and I just thought they played like a ruthless, experienced team, and we just were a little bit flighty. Like, we gave them some cheap possession, and then we would work really hard to kind of get back in it, and then we'd sort of gift them something else. So, as I said to the guys, I've seen a couple of times some stuff this year from us that I was really disappointed in. I don't feel like that, and that sounds funny, but credit to the opposition, and we just got a few things wrong today. You know, the Roosters did a job on Thursday, and I reckon the Warriors did a job today that sort of announced their premiership credentials as well.
That was Josh Hannay, and a much happier man, you would imagine, and certainly the case was the coach of the Warriors, Andrew Webster.
Yeah, like I said before, when our forward pack went after them and did a really good job putting pressure on them, our back five converted on kick returns, and if you don't have that, you don't have a forward pack doing that, you don't give like class players like Loffy that room to play. So when we got that right, we were really good. Really happy for Riley Price to debuting. We think it's the first father and son for the Warriors ever, which is cool, and his uncle played for the club, so just happy. He's only been with us for 3 weeks, so really happy. Well, he got flown over last night, so we lost Dimitri yesterday with ribs in captain's run, and then he flew over, so just got on with the job, and he knows now, but I'm guessing he might know.
And we welcome a special guest, Paul Donkin from, I know him from lots of dressing rooms about, a long time ago, 30 years ago. Firstly, Paul, what'd you make of the match?
I sort of liked it, but I was disappointed in the parts of it. I just found there wasn't much attack from the Catalan side of things, and defensively they just seemed to get them on an edge pretty easily. But other than that, I thought they tried. I was really impressed with the 2 young centres that I know are 18. Justin Murphy told me about them, so I was very keen to have a look at those guys. I don't know their names, remember their names, but I know that they were very good, and I sort of was impressed. I think they've got some hope with young players coming through that I can see.
Yeah, now what brings you, why are you here? You came here with Mick Potter a long time ago.
Yeah, so I actually, before Mick Potter was announced as coach, I actually had the first, I think, 3 games. So, Wigan and stuff I won. So I always promised myself to come back. I haven't had the chance. So 20 years later, I decided, bugger it, I've got to come and have a look, because, I remember this was nothing. We only had a stand on the other side, and this was, we were in the planning, and I left, and I regret it. And, I'm proud to be back, and I'm proud to see what they've done. Bernard and his whole team, with Christoph Levy and Sebastian Munoz and all the old players. It's just fantastic. Pretty emotional, actually. But I think they've come a long way, and I just hope the French Rugby League survives forever.
What are you doing with yourself now?
Mate, I was at the Roosters, the reserve grade, and I've just sort of left. I unfortunately lost my wife 2 years ago, so I'm a little bit lost. But look, mate, I'm still around the game. I love it, and hopefully I can still add to the game when I go home.
Hopefully I'll see you after I get off air.
Yeah, great to see you. Good to see you, mate.
So we'll make our way downstairs, and maybe a good win to Wakefield, and they now go back to continue to put pressure on the teams above them, particularly Wigan, who said they still after the league leaders shield. And let's go to another game that happened this morning in the NRL, and it was a game up at Mudgee. Penrith 42, Canberra 18, and we can have a listen to what Ivan Cleary had to say after that game. And while he's talking, I'll make my way down to the fence and see if there's anyone there we can have a chat to.
Yeah, it did feel good. Wasn't a great start, but I thought we corrected that really quickly, which is a good sign. And then, I thought did a lot of the stuff we wanted to do in that first half. Ticked out of the scoreboard, and then second half did pretty well too. I thought a lot of defensive pressure tonight. Like they are a very dangerous outfit, and scored some amazing tries actually. But I was kind of happy there too, where we still had guys turning up and made them throw, plenty of passes. So finished the game strong. So yeah.
Now, Ricky Stewart's press conference, I heard it was pretty interesting after that 42-18 defeat to Penrith at Glen Willow Stadium. Let's have a listen, a little bit of a snippet from Ricky.
There was a big part of that first half was just that it was not good enough, and that's what we've got to that's what we've got to deal with now, and we'll speak about it tonight. We've got to deal with it this week. We just definitely wasn't good enough. So against a good football team who scored too many points in the first half. Yeah. I'm not being disrespectful to you, but just I haven't even spoken to the players yet. Don't really feel like it, to be honest.
Well, Brisbane are already out of the premiership defence running. Before this match, they played against Newcastle, but they were well beaten 30 points to 6. And Reece Walsh sent to the sin bin for pulling the hair of Dominic Young. Let's go with the winning coach, Justin Holbrook.
Yeah, I think since round one, we got confidence in our footy side. So, we've had some setbacks, but said to the boys, other teams may face that in the future. So we just got to get on with it. And the players deserve a heap of credit. To try as hard as they have the last few weeks and deal with what they dealt with and don't get reward for it. It's hard to keep turning up, but again they. Look at obviously, the young forwards did a great job as well. So we had so many, we had to. They had to play well, and we did that. So, look, I'm really excited about what lies ahead and the position that we're going to put ourselves in.
And now we can hear from Michael Maguire.
Oh, that might be your view, Joel, and I understand why you'd say that, because of the results. And I guess, when you're having to leave Paddy and Pano out there for an 80-minute stint, all of a sudden it does disjoint things, in your game plan. So then all of a sudden your attack doesn't look as fluent as what it does. And then, sometimes a bit of frustration can come in because I know how hard the boys are trying. And that's what I see in what they're going through at the moment. Because, they are a group that turn up to work. They understand the enormity of what we are here at the Bronx. So it's pretty hard to watch the players having to go through it and the staff. But they're a group that'll keep rolling up and making sure that we can create the opportunities.
Let's go to Super League now, and it was a huge win for the Warrington Wolves. 48 points to 18 away to Castleford. We can definitely hear from Ryan Carr.
Yeah. No, again, like I said to you, there was there's some common denominators around it. That's why I'll just keep coming back to it, but that's where it is, mate. That's the reality. I can't sugarcoat it. It's more of an individual thing than a team thing, because the team you seen was the team thing. That's when you look really good, but some individuals need to. No, I seen the start coming, because again, that's what we worked on. It's what we practiced, what we went out there to do, and then. I don't see. It's like two different versions of people, so I don't see that coming. I just try and bring out the good all the time. But like I said, it's a definite individual thing for certain people out there today that caused things, and that affects the team. And then ultimately, that's hard to come back from when you get down by a big score.
Great upset earlier today and a wonderful win for York at LNER Stadium. 34-32 over St Helens, who are definitely in decline. And you would imagine that Mark Applegarth was cock-a-hoop after that.
I'd like to say we're nice and composed that last minute or so, but definitely a little twitchy. Obviously, I think... we all know what Saints are like, absolutely world-class outfit that can burn you at any minute. We saw them do it against Wigan, obviously, and then, I knew that they'd fight right to the death. So, a little bit twitchy, but also really proud of how we showed the character to hang in there and, grind out that win. I thought we made it harder than it needed to be, if I'm honest with you, in patches. Some of them kick tries and them last play tackle ones I thought were a bit sloppy on our part, but that's one for Monday. I thought, the theme all week we're doing the hard things better than as opposition. I've been a bit filthy over the last 2 weeks that we've been getting outdone on some of them effort-based areas. And I thought we made massive strides forward in that again today. I thought... for me, we're epitomised by that chase back by Tomo to get that tackle there, and you could just feel the lift in the stadium, couldn't you? And it wasn't perfect, but sometimes you just got to find a way to win, and I thought we certainly did that.
The caretaker coach at St Helens is Eamon O'Carroll.
No, because I think there's a lot to take. This is a much bigger job than ultimately just the performance of the weekend. This is about instilling some things that's going to help the club in the future, and that's my main objective. Of course, I want to be winning games, but some of the young lads are getting some exposure now. We're doing a few things that we feel are right for us in this short term, but long term it's going to be better for us and real beneficial. So you say we've got 6 games, I see it as we've got 6 weeks together, and there's a lot of training days, a lot of practice there, and a lot of time for us to build some more connection as well. So there's still time yet, and there's fight in the dog, definitely.
And finally we return here to Stade Gilbert, Brutus and Wakefield. They hopped over the top of Wigan into second place with a pretty convincing 32-12 victory over Catalans, but maybe not as convincing as the scoreboard would indicate. I asked the coach of Wakefield, Darryl Powell, whether he was going to follow Wigan's lead of declaring their interest in the League Leaders' Shield and maybe putting the wind up Leeds, who are on top.
Well, we talked about potentially the top 2 finish because you get the set. Well, you don't. League Leaders is obviously a great thing to get, but to finish in the top 2 would be incredible for us. And we've got a pretty hefty run in, so we know that. We've got Leeds next week, and that's a great opportunity for us to have a shot at them. We played them twice this year, beat them in the cup and then lost away from home, and I think we've sort of grown a bit since then. So look, it's there, but it'd be tough to do, But are we capable of doing it? We're going to find out, I think. So we'll see how we go next week, next Friday. Leeds are a big club doing great things, and we're pretty excited about this week.
Some interesting comments from John Cartwright about where the club is. He is staying on for another 2 years. It hasn't been announced yet, but I asked him about how involved he is in recruitment and what his plans were in that area.
Yeah, I've been. But there'll be an announcement at some point over the next week, I would say. But we've been working hard on recruitment. We've announced a few. Tyson, Gamble, Jesse Arthurs, Luciano Alua. There's a few others in the wind as well. But nothing concrete as yet. But we're working very hard on improving the squad, and especially improving in areas that we're just coming up short. Yeah, that's the that's the plan. There was a plan that went into this year's recruitment. I wasn't sort of part of that, but there's the team. Whilst we've been before I got here, has been sort of you don't. There's nothing worse as a coach than having a team that's inconsistent. And it's been inconsistent since I've been here. I'm not sort of pointing the finger here at anyone. That we've been an inconsistent side, but there are green shoots there. Like I can see some players that haven't played at this level are starting to feel part of it, feel comfortable. I think just to name one, Josh Allen has really he's improved truckloads. Since I've sort of been watching him. Guillermo, young French boy. There's some really good signs there with the team, and the only way you get better at this level is playing at this level. Nights like tonight, nights like last week where we won a tight one, nights like when we got beat by big scores. They're learning. As long as you take them the right way, they're great learning curves for a young team.
And that's it. Another episode of Hooters. It's kind of a Frankenstein episode. We've patched it together from a few different sources, but we made it in the end. Don't forget to follow us. Let's talk about the podcast. We are on the podcast is on Facebook. It's /WLF podcast or rugbyleague.com. That's rugbyleague.com on Facebook. If you want to follow us on Instagram, the podcast is WLF Pod and Merch, WLF Pod and Merch, or you can follow rugbyleague.com with dot spell out on Instagram. And if you want to hear this show first before it's posted on all the public platforms, then you can support the show on on Patreon, patreon.com/White-Line-Fever. White-Line Fever, all one word. And if you are listening on the radio, you can have this show on demand by searching WLF Kicks on your favourite podcast platform. If you're already listening to it as a podcast, this show went out live, or at least part of it did, after the Catalans versus Wakefield game from Perpignan on Saturday night. So rugbyleague.com is a 24-hour rugby league radio station, and I encourage you to tune in and have a listen. Just go to that URL, rugbyleague.com. Pretty self-explanatory. That's it for now. Thanks for listening, and we'll be back soon. Joining me from the Midlands of England here on rugbyleague.com is former first grader back in Australia and also over here in Europe, and Australian schoolboys representative Troy Perkins. Tell the listeners what you're up to now.
Yeah, mate, Rugby Discounts is what it's called. It specialising in all the latest NRL kit from Australia, whether it's jerseys, training T-shirts, training vests, training shorts, hoodies, most clubs are available. You can get me on www.rugbydiscounts.net. I've also got a Facebook page, Rugby Discounts, so very active on that, and Instagram as well. So best prices and the great quality NRL gear that is very difficult to get in the UK.
The Rugby League Coach podcast is hosted by me, Lee Addison. I'm a former coach at NRL clubs, a couple of World Cups. You may remember the USA shocking the world in 2013. That's one of them. I also coached Poland to an Emerging Nations World Cup and helped Ireland a few years ago too. I've also worked at 3 elite high schools in England, and I like to offer my coaching services for free on this podcast. It's a Rugby League Coach podcast, and you can get to it through rugbyleague.com, the world's first 24-hour online rugby league radio station. That's a Rugby League Coach podcast with me, Lee Addison.